Hello, fellow people, and today we'll be taking a look at the Transformers Studio Series number 90, Voyager Class, Age of Extinction Galvatron. So taking a look at the figure itself, you can clearly tell this is supposed to be the Age of Extinction figure, or at least the Age of Extinction version. Taking a look at the painting and sculpting first, it's really good. So you can see there's a lot of sculpted and detailing on the front of the character, in front of the figure itself, and there's none on the back aside from the back having the whole painted orange. Yeah, you can see some blue highlights on the arms and the torso, but I'm pretty sure these are supposed to be the headlights, and I can't really tell, to be honest. And as well as the face, though for some reason the ones on his near his nose, for some reason, look too much like a mustache. Yeah, not sure if anyone ever caught on to that. You can see he has the wrist blades molded onto the back of his arms, which is pretty cool considering you can now make him commit sideways on any other car that you have. I don't think it'll work on Hot Wheels though, sadly. Anyways, taking a look at that head sculpt, it looks pretty good. So you can see it's clearly supposed to be Galvatron. You can see the red eyes, they really stand out from the rest of the figure being mostly monochromatic, with some hints of orange, blue, and that's it. Anyways, so he only comes with a few accessories, that being this dainty cannon, and yeah, I'm not really a fan of it. It looks pretty small, to be honest. Also, in the images, in the product shots of his packaging, the inside was supposed to be painted orange, and now I feel ripped off. And if you open up his chest, you can actually pull out his missile pods. You can see there's only one pair, sadly, and there's no sort of sculpted in detailing or painted in detailing. It's mostly just basic. Yeah. The way you can store these is pretty cool. So for this rocket, actually for the missile pods, you can just place them on the chest however you wish, considering there's enough spacing for the top for it to be placed on the top as well as the bottom. That's really cool. As for the cannon, there's nowhere to store this, sadly. You can only place this on the hand. Another area you can place the missile pods is on the wrists. You just slide that in there. As you can see, there's the port, and you can see this tab. You just slide that in there. There you go. Pretty cool, to be honest, even if it was never included in the actual movie itself. So just placing that back inside. Moving on to my problems. It's mostly just how the cannon doesn't have any sort of storage, and it's just small. Anyways, as well as how there's no wrist swivel or any sort of way to actually fill this out, because this is just pathetic. Holy frick, this thing's hollow. That's probably the only parts that are hollow though. And I don't really mind him being blocky, considering they were never going to actually successfully make this look 100% movie accurate. Yeah. So moving on to posability now, shall we? He has a ball joint at the head. He can't really look up, but he can look down that far. And if you unpeg the backside, you can actually strengthen the range of his head moving down. He can do a full 360 at the arms. They can spread out, not that far. It's still surprising considering how he has pylons. He can do a double elbow bend, and he has a wrist swivel. Pretty cool. He actually has a faux butterfly joint due to his transformation, a faux ab crunch due to the transformation, and waist swivel. His legs can not really spread out that far due to the way they're shaped. Thigh swivel. He can kick that far, and I think back this far. It's restricted due to the wheel. You can do an over 90-degree knee bend. You can do a backwards bend, which I usually prefer to do, so it's more stable. Ankle pivot, and no other movement on the legs. And yeah, this figure's not really that posable, but with some of the transformation hinges, like on the arms and waist, you can actually strengthen posability. Yeah. So moving on to size comparisons, shall we? Okay, so here we have them compared next to the Piggy duo, also known as Clowny and Tigry. As you can see right there, here we have them compared next to Battle Class Shockwave. Here we have them compared next to Studio Series #1, or at least #2, Stinger. As you can see right there. Here we have them compared next to Studio Series 86, Wreck-Gar. And what I find pretty impressive is how he's almost the same size as him. That's really cool. And here we have him compared next to the Transformers The Last Night, Voyager class Optimus Prime. And here's my reason here's just my theory on why there's nothing covering the chest, or at least the hole in his chest. Yeah. I should really get out for that joke. Anyways, moving on to his transformation, it's really complex. So, long story short, I was in Ross trying to figure out how to transform him, and when I did do it, I think I did a half-assed job at it. So, let's move on to it right now. So, take out the weapons, as you can see right there. Anyways, rotate the head, unclip the chest from or at least the back part of the robot mode from this part, and don't put it in flat yet, considering you're gonna have to get these arms in there. So rotate the arms a full 180, or at least somewhere in between that, as you can see right there. Same steps on the other side, and just angle them slightly. And there you go. Now you can just okay, there you go. Anyways, moving on, just bring this up. Rotate the legs, bring out the panel from the back of his calf, fold out this piece, rotate it, and you rotate the foot, bring out this wheel, and then you rotate the foot again. You split it apart, or at least in half, rotate the foot, part of the toe, and there you have one leg done, or partially done. We'll talk about that later. Same steps on the other side, as you can see right there. Anyways, so now then, what you're going to have to do is untab the waist, and basically you're just going to have to try and wrap the leg part from the upper body part of the truck mode. Basically, you can see this T-shaped tab, and as well as this rectangular tab. You can see the port over there and the port over here. Yeah, the T-shaped tab doesn't really serve a function, to be honest, considering you can just try and fiddle around with it until you just get it right. It's mostly just tabbing in this tab instead of the back one. And there you go. See what I mean? See what I mean? And basically you're supposed to keep this part on level, just like that. And then you take out the wheels, and we're halfway done. Bring these canisters and use them to hide the gaps, or at least do some or at least partially. Fold out these panels, and don't do that yet. And then you just do that. There you have that. Just bring this panel in there, and then you can just bring the bumper section. And before we do that, weapon storage. So you can see this port, and you can see the L-shaped tab over there. Just plug that in there. There you go. Anyways, you can see these two tabs and the two ports. And there you go. There we have them in its truck mode. So, going down, and here we have them in its Freightliner Argosy mode. And you can actually store the cannon in there. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention this, but make sure you plug in the feet together. I forgot to mention that. I apologize. There you go. Yeah. Anyways, you can see the port over there, and you can see this tab, or at least this peg, which has actually already paint chipped. Yeah, I'm still confused why they made this entire thing silver. Basically, you're just gonna have to try and fiddle around with it, considering it's kind of difficult to see it. And there you go. Make sure these stay connected. There you go. And there we have them in its Freightliner Argosy mode. And to be honest, it doesn't look bad. Though I'm not a fan of how there's a lot of kibble in there, but hey, Emperor Nero had that same problem, so it gets a pass for that. Painting and sculpting is pretty good. So you can see the stripes running along the truck mode. You can see the front of the truck, and you can see how the windshield and the grille is painted out of a very glossy black paint. You can see some blue highlights scattered all around the front of the cab. You can see the headlights, and yeah, pretty cool. And I also find it pretty cool how they use the tabs, the ports from the robot mode, and they doubled it as side view mirrors. That's honestly just really clever. Not gonna lie. And I find this funny how they just added this as if it's actually gonna hide the robot mode head. Yeah. He rolls fairly well for a figure with some never mind, there's not that much kibble. He rolls fairly well though. And I find the weapon storage pretty cool how they just place the cannon here, and they just secretly place the missile pods there. The thing you can actually do with the missile pods is you can just place them on the sides. Just like so. You can see this port and that same tab. Plug that in there. And now you can recreate a scene. Yeah. It's only one piece though. It's sadly not a pair. I'm still kind of glad that we got the accessory either way. Yeah. Anyways, just plugging that back in. Dang it, it untransformed. Anyways, so, moving on to size comparisons now, shall we? Let's go with that. So, here we have compared next to the Piggy Duo, as you can see right there. Bringing them in for a more closer look. There you go. Here we have compared next to Battle Class Shockwave in its crawler mode, as you can see right there. Studio Series Deluxe Class number 2 Stinger. And for those of you wondering, even though I've already said this before, it's not compatible with the missile pod. Sadly. Anyways, here we have the next two, the Last Night Voyager Optimus Prime. Pretty interesting how they're almost the same size, to be honest. So, my overall final thoughts on this figure? He's great. I would definitely recommend him if you're trying to look for a good figure that isn't expensive as like the Unique Toys Nero, and actually is in scale with some of your mainline figures. So basically this is it for this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye now.